5 most common mistakes when self-editing. Hi, welcome to First Editing. I'm Joellen, and today we'll be talking about the 5 most common mistakes made when self-editing. So let's jump right in with this mistake number 1, which is editing while you are still writing. The truth is that your first draft isn't meant to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be good. It just needs to be on the page so that you can edit it later. The problem is that lots of writers do the editing while writing the first draft. And although a little bit of editing here and there never hurt anybody, it's very easy to get tangled up in details and spend 2 hours tweaking your words when you should just be writing. And you also might feel discouraged if you don't like how 3 specific sentences have turned out, and then you end up writing 0 words after. So which is why it's recommended to leave most of your editing for when you've finished your first draft. The second mistake is immediately jumping from draft 1 to draft 2. So you might be tempted to edit immediately after your manuscript and when you're finishing it, and it's better to put it out in a drawer for a while. It's because the space allows you to gain new perspectives and come back to the manuscript with a fresh pair of eyes. So if you're writing a book, don't be afraid to just let it be for a few months and focus on other projects in the meantime. And as for essays or articles, give it at least a day so that you have time to process what you've written. Our mistake number 3 is refusing all help. So the truth is that every writer needs help. You'll never write a 100% perfect manuscript because at the end of the day, you're just one person, and that's okay. So it is very helpful to consider getting some free online tools like Grammarly, Pro Writing Aid, Hemingway Editor. And if you're self publishing or if you'd like professional help, you can always reach out to an editing service like First Editing. So the next mistake is what I call looking at the trees before polishing the forest. And what I mean by that, should always do structural content editing first and line or copy editing second. So content editing is about the substance and structure of your story. So in fiction, this means your character arcs, plots, twists, narrative structures, and so on. And in nonfiction, your editor is evaluating the strength of your overall presentation and reader engagement of your content. So content is the overall evaluation of your manuscript. Copy editing is all about the final polishing and tweaking you do on a sentence level structure. This is why it's always best to edit after you finish writing your first draft, because you might end up perfecting one's scenes or syntax, and then you have to delete it because you found a huge hole in your plot or your presentation. So before you dive into copy editing, just ask yourself these 3 questions. Do all of my chapters serve a clear purpose that moves the presentation forward? Does my writing engage my readers? And is my main message clear enough? So, our 5th and final editing mistake is giving yourself too much leeway. This basically means that you need to be more ruthless. You might like how a particular sentence sounds, but if it's not relevant to your book, you should probably just throw it out. And you might really enjoy a side character or a story you've created at the last minute, but if they have no purpose, then what's the point? Save them for later. So again, ask yourself these questions and be ready to quote unquote kill your darlings. Writing is when you're a creative and emotional flow, while editing is when you have to detach yourself and be a little bit more objective. Of course, detaching yourself isn't as easy as it sounds because you've already created such an emotional bond to the story, which is also why hiring a professional editor might sometimes come in handy. And that's us for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or send us an email at editors@firstediting.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.